the transpersonal, collective, and spiritual realms of consciousness. I'm used to it. It's fine. I'm literally used to it. It's nothing we can do. We can just keep reading. That's all we can control. It's us reading. So that's what we gonna control. Okay? We have seen that the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars represent the most personal aspects of your character, and that Jupiter and Saturn represent your social levels of involvement. The final three planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, represent the transpersonal, spiritual, and collective realms of your consciousness. A good astronomer could point out the planets up to Saturn in the night sky, and you would be able to see them with the naked eye. This is not so with the final three planets. You would need an extension of the normal senses, a telescope, to see them. In astrology, these three also represent forces that are beyond the normal range of perception. Rational thought is adequate to understand the operation of the planets up to Saturn. However, to understand the operation of the outer planets, one must go beyond rational thought and begin to use faith and intuition. Due to the extended amount of time it takes for each of the outer planets to orbit the sun, Uranus 84 years, Neptune 165 years, and Pluto 249 years, they will each spend many years in a given sign. This means that everyone born within a several-year period will have the same outer planet arrangement in their charts. Thus, the theme of the outer planets relates to an entire generation. How is it that cultures, relationships, and individuals evolve? Where does the new information come from? The answer can be found within the outer planets and their role of stimulating the awakening of greater levels of conscious awareness. Isn't this the purpose of life? To evolve, to awaken to higher levels of consciousness, and to grow in awareness of what one was not aware of before. The final three planets could be pictured as our connection to the angelic level of consciousness, where information essentially descends upon the individual as if it were being sent by invisible forces of the universe. The role of free will is different with these outer planets than with the previous planets. The influence of the planets up to Saturn symbolize essentially malleable forces. If you want to enhance or tone down a certain characteristic, you can do that with your free will. But the outer planets are forces beyond the influence of the ego identity. Here, free will takes on a different role. Free will at this level represents how you respond to the uninvited messages of the outer planets. Your options are either to resist and struggle, or to accept the callings and surrender to their evolutionary impact on your life. Uranus, the first planet of this triad, is called the Awakener and is experienced as the unexpected events in our lives that reveal a reality beyond the ego's control. Events connected to Uranus force us to change our view of the established order that has been built into our lives up to Saturn. The psychological urge connected to Uranus is felt as a drive to go beyond the conventional expectations that have been placed on you by your culture and to establish your authentic individuality and uniqueness. At the lowest level, Uranus corresponds to rebellious, eccentric, erratic behavior. At the highest level, it manifests as the awakening urge to liberate yourselves from all that is holding you back from your evolutionary awakening. Neptune relates to the urge for transcendent experiences, your imagination, and all aspects of faith and imagined fears. It represents how you incorporate the new information brought to you through the unexpected Uranus events. While Uranian events come crashing through the Saturn boundary of the ego identity, Neptune dissolves the separate sense of self to allow a merging with the larger spiritual reality. At the lowest level, Neptune relates to all escapist activity such as drugs, alcohol, illusions, escapist fantasies, and imagined fears. At the highest level, Neptune relates to the creative inspiration and spiritual insights that come to one who has learned to align with the call for transcendence in a healthy way. Meditation, prayer, art, and music are examples of healthy escapes in this mystical realm. Pluto, the final planet, represents the principle of death and rebirth. The old must die before a higher, more encompassing reality can be reborn. Pluto's influence is like a volcano, reaching deep into the realm of the subconscious and bringing material to the conscious mind to be integrated into the self-identity. At the lowest level, Pluto represents an obsessive-compulsive urge for power to control and dominate others. At the highest level, Pluto is the capacity for self-transformation. By confronting and purging the darker, hidden aspects of yourself, your authentic soul purpose blossoms into consciousness. The three outer planets together symbolize the spiritualization of consciousness and have more to do with your interface with the collective consciousness than with purely personal issues. Think of them as agents of evolution, prompting the awakening of humanity to a larger spiritual reality. Still, the personal effect of these planets can be seen in how you respond to these collective forces. Each of these planets will be explored in the following chapters.